Welcome back, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothian here, and today we're going to be doing a quick video because we've got a great new commander coming out in MGE, and I want you to know how her anti-silence mechanisms works. That's right, it's a Mantitori. I'm going to show you definitively how a Mantitori and Artemisia are going to interact together when we're talking about the silence mechanism that both of those two share. Let's jump into the game. I'm going to quickly show you what I'm talking about on a Mantitori's expertise, and then Artemisia's fourth skill, and then we're going to go into some testing that I did and show you exactly how those two will work together. Let's jump in. All right, so we've got a Mantitori up on the screen right now, and I know you can't see the expertise, but I'm going to pop it up here so you can. Nubian Willpower. Troops led by this commander are immune to silence. That's really good. A Mantitori, you gotta max her, if nothing else, for just that skill, but also her expertise. Active skills reduce the target's rage by 100 per second for 2 seconds. That's 200 rage gone. Every single time the active skill is cast, can trigger it most once every 10 seconds. Very interesting. Now, we all want to know. Artemisia, her fourth skill, Queen of Caria, says when this commander's rage meter reaches 80%, there is a 50% chance to silence her own troops for 3 seconds, and at the same time, grant her troops up to 50%, that's YSG levels, for all damage going out for 5 seconds. That's huge. The idea behind this skill for Artemisia is like, okay, we're going to give you a massive damage bonus, but, you know, to kind of keep it from not being OP, we're going to go ahead and give you a 3-second silence so that you can't cast your stuff as quickly, and it'll kind of keep it in line with what we're trying to do. Well, hold the phone, okay? Hold the phone. We've got Artemisia, again, with that expertise level saying, nope, we don't do silence. We don't like that. And we're just not going to acknowledge the fact that you silenced us, okay? So does this work together? How does it work together? That's what I did the testing for. What I did was I used Attila, who is another commander in Rise of Kingdoms that also, on his expertise, says troops led by Attila are immune to all silence effects. So what I did, I'm going to show you what it looks like on a battle report without a silence blocker. That's Ramses Artemisia. That's, you know, a fairly decent pair, by the way, if you wanted to use that. But let's go to the battle log, and on turn 6, we've got Artemisia's skill, Queen of Caria, was triggered this turn. Ramses' troops gain the buff Silence. Takes effect at the start of the next turn. Ramses' second troops gain the buff Unstoppable, which is that damage buff that we talked about. So we go to turn 7. We've got Queen of Caria. Troops cannot use skills due to the silence effect caused by Queen of Caria. 2 turns left, and then it's got the damage bonus right below it. And again, that made our first cast from Ramses be on turn 11 instead of usually it's 9 or 10 for a Ramses-led march, and especially if you've got a horn, which I believe this test did. So, 9 should have been really the one, maybe even 8 could have been the first turn that it was cast, but instead it was turned on 11, and that's the mechanic that Artemisia is supposed to have, and that's what it looks like on a battle report. It'll show you the silence here, and it'll also show you the damage that you're going to be giving out from Queen of Caria. Pretty damn sweet. All right, let's jump out of this, and let's go to the test with Attila and Artemisia. And again, this is not a good pair. Don't do this. But this is for test, okay? So, and in fact, I think I even used infantry inside this just to make this the worst possible march ever. It was Attila and Artemisia with infantry in my test. How about that? But let's go to the battle log. All right, so I think this procced on turn 15, if I recall correctly. I might be mistaken. Maybe it was turn 13. Or maybe it was turn 14. It was definitely one of these turns, and I'm going to find it. I promise you I will. Queen of Caria, here we go. So, turn 16. I was one off. Turn 16, Queen of Caria procced. Do you notice something missing? Before on the last report, it said it would say that, commander's troop gained the buff Silence and Unstoppable. This one only shows Unstoppable. When we go to the next turn, There's only one line for Queen of Karya, and it is for the damage bonus, people. So not only does it block the silence, but it also just gives you the damage bonus too. You're getting the best of both worlds. Amanitore and Artemisia are going to be insane. That's going to be the meta pair to have for archers and really for most of the game. And it's not just Garrison, guys. It's for open field too. It's going to be crazy to have Amanitore and Artemisia in the open field because you can block your silence. You're constantly pouring out that damage. You're getting the damage buff at regular intervals. And because it's a 5-second buff from Artemisia, it's just going to be on quite a lot of time. And you're going to be just pumping out tons of damage. I just wanted to show that to you guys just so you saw exactly how this works. Now, do you want to have Amanitore primary or do you want to have her secondary? That's a discussion for another day. I think right now Artemisia primary has been kind of the way to go, with Artemisia having the archer and defense talent trees, having YSG behind, having Tamiris behind, even having Ramses primary with Artemisia has been fine. There's tons of other combos, but now that Amanitore is out and can be used on the open field because she has the archer and support talent trees, which is great for open field, pouring out tons of rage. Oh my goodness. Not only are you going to be pouring out a ton of rage for your own March, but again, with her expertise, reducing the rage of your target by 200 every 10 seconds or every active skill, basically. Oh my goodness. This is going to be very bad. This is going to be very bad for a lot of people. And I don't know if the developers will identify this and maybe adjust this. I don't know if I want them to or not, to be honest with you. I'm just curious to see how badass this is going to be. Definitely in Garrison, this will be a solid performing March pairing. Open field, like I said, I think Amanitore is great for that because she's got a direct damage that's not contingent on Garrison. Her second skill is not contingent on Garrison. Her third skill is contingent on being Garrison, but it's just a small defense bonus and a trigger chance for the Dispel, which is nice. The Dispel is nice, but again, I don't know if, it's not the end of the world if you don't have it, because the fourth skill is not contingent on being a Garrison commander for the first part, and the expertise is not contingent on being a Garrison commander either. I think Amanitore is going to be great. I think she's going to be just fine. I think she's going to be open field as well as Garrison, and Artemisia is definitely her pair. She erases the silence. You get the damage bonus on top of everything else. Absolutely incredible. Can't believe this is happening. Can't believe this is happening in the game, but I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope that if you are looking forward to getting Amanitore in this week's upcoming MGE, now that you know how you can properly use her with the current game mechanics the way they are, good luck. Good luck. Have fun. Enjoy destroying everything. I hope you have a good time. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one, and take care.